What's up, guys? It is Sunday, guys and girls. It is Sunday once again. So let's see what the markets had in store for us last week and make plans for the week ahead. Let's get to it. Right. So before we jump into the charts, I want to bore you to death again with a speech. It's not a speech, but we got to dive a little deeper into the topic from last week because I explicitly stated that I de-risked significantly, and I received a few DMs both on Twitter and Instagram asking me why I decided to do so, even though I think I was pretty clear last week. People were saying, well, this is obviously the start of a bull run, right? I mean, they were so eager to let me know why they thought this was the start of a bull run. And not only that, if you check Twitter, if you check X, you can see almost everybody is extremely bullish. Now, while it is very natural to think, that most people are probably right. But if you think a little deeper, if you give it a second more thought, you'll know that that is obviously almost never the case. The majority is almost never, ever right. Again, if you know, and we know this is empirical, this is a statistical fact. Almost no traders are profitable in the long run, on the long term, right? So 99% of people trading are either unprofitable, which is perfectly fine and a normal thing. We're all learning. I'm learning. I'm doing the best I can, and we're definitely getting there. But if you know this, if you know 99% of people are either unprofitable or will lose all the money they've made, it's risky to side with the majority, and it is very easy to think of a lot of reasons to be bullish when you want to be bullish. Most people only trade one way, right? Most people are long only traders. They just buy, hold, and hope for the best. Meaning that if the market's bullish, if the markets go up, most people will make money temporarily. Not a lot of people short the market. If you trade both ways, which I do, it really doesn't matter a lot to me if prices are going up or down. Of course, I want most people to profit. I actually enjoy seeing people making money, which is more often the case when the markets go up until they no longer do so. But again, price doesn't matter to me. Up, down, it doesn't matter. But the point is, it makes a lot of sense to just look for bits and pieces of evidence proving to you that we're in a bull run. And we may very well be in a bull run. We may even be at the start of a bull run. But I just don't think so. That doesn't mean I'm bearish. Again, I said this last week. That doesn't mean I'm not looking for longs, because I'm still, I still am. I still have exposure to crypto, to risk assets. I still have Apple. I still have Microsoft. So I'm still buying risk assets. But I'm just really keeping my eyes and ears open, keeping my ears to the ground, because like I posted, I think it was yesterday on Twitter. Remember the good old days when the developers of your favorite project launched a new website or redesigned their logo, and prices would just do 100x, right? If this is your first bull run, you don't remember that, but in 2017, for instance, and especially during the ICO craze, like a token could literally say, look guys, we're going to announce something next week, sorry, and the coin would just do a 10x just because they were going to announce something. So you had the whole meme of an announcement, right? They used to announce the fact that they were going to announce something, which was pretty funny. But even that just skyrocketed prices, right? Which is what you see during actual thriving, like crazy bull runs. It doesn't matter what people say or do. Negative news is just really easily brushed off, right? Nobody gives a fuck because everybody's convinced prices cannot go down. And as soon as people are convinced prices cannot go down, like I said, bad news is really easily shrugged off. However, positive news, it's just gasoline on the fire, right? Um, however, I think it was yesterday, right, where they announced that Trump was willing or going to buy Bitcoin for the strategic reserve, which is probably the most bullish thing you could hear in the world. I don't I cannot think of anything that would be more bullish to Bitcoin than that. I just can't think of it. If you do, if you know anything, just let me know because I'd be dying to know. Apparently, the apparently Trump and his team are openly buying altcoins. Right? They bought ENA, they bought Link, they bought AVI. I mean, think about this, right? The president fucking elect of the United States, they're buying altcoins. And what does the market do? Not much, right? It didn't really do much. Again, that doesn't mean I'm bearish. This isn't bear porn. This is just stating a very simple fact, right? You have eyes. Your eyes are functioning, right? So you can actually see what is happening, what is occurring. Now, tell me why that is bullish. I don't know. And of course, you can say, well, the market is just pausing. We're just waiting for the next. We're just waiting for the next leg up, which is fair, but that is speculation, which is okay because that is what trading is. But if you're doing the whole speculating thing, which I am too, I'm just using different kinds of evidence for my own personal speculation. And in the meantime, if I decide to buy back now, a few of my altcoins, well, those bags are going to be like 40% bigger, right? Which is nice, but I'm still not buying back. So what do I wait for? What am I waiting for? Am I waiting for new all-time highs in all these coins? Absolutely not. I'm just waiting for the markets to heat up again. And I know for a fact that if Bitcoin, especially Ethereum, if they start catching a serious bid again, I know absolutely we can be way more certain that alts will start catching a bid again as well. So yeah, that is the introduction to this video. I gotta tell you, man, I've been saying this for like I think every single week, every single video. But I'm a new father, right? I have a beautiful, perfect little daughter. She's almost 6 months. But man, I am getting zero fucking sleep, right? So hats off to all the dads out there. You're doing great, guys. You're doing great. Anyway, let's jump into these charts, right? Because that's what you're here for. You're not here for sob stories. So we got Apple. If this is your first time tuning in, shame on you. I hope to see you back here next week. Love you. We have Apple, very simple, very straightforward. This is an ascending triangle, right? Higher lows into the horizontal resistance. Price breaks out. I never buy the breakout of the actual chart pattern. I'm giving it in this particular case 3% room. Once it confirms a breakout through the 3% price level, it is a confirmed breakout, and I am currently long since Tuesday, the 3rd of December. So I'm just waiting for this to play out with a target of about 278. Really not much else to say. I could potentially start moving my stop up. Stop up. Christ. Which would be below this thrust candle here. It's not a huge thrust candle, but I'd still consider this a thrust candle. I have a new computer, by the way, which I'm very happy with. Everything is so smooth and so nice and fast. I love it. So shout out to my boy Dex. Love that guy. hooked me up with this computer. Very, very nice. So we got this thrust candle. Stop goes below the thrust. I was thinking of adding to this trade at the retest, the last high breakout out of this little structure here, right? Get this structure going. Then we get the breakout. Want to buy a retest of this last high pre-break. Didn't get it. Now we have too much structure going on already. So I'm not bidding this level anymore, because with this structure forming, I am risking this becoming new resistance if price does trade into this level, which I do not want to see. So yeah, I definitely don't want to see price back here. With ascending triangles, the retests of the chart pattern do occur more often than not, if I recall correctly. So we could still see a successful retest of the pattern boundary. But yeah, I'm gonna move my stop up after the market opens tomorrow. Then we got Binance Coin. Man, this thing is driving me fucking nuts. We get this huge rectangle, right? This is a really, really big one. Over 3 years in the making. Then we get the consolidation here, right below resistance, major resistance, right? Price finally breaks out. I'm happy, of course, and I buy the breakout. But then we get the return into the rectangle. But then again, breakout once more. So I try again. This is now the second time I'm trading this breakout. Not sure why the hell this is here. Is of no use. In any case, this is the second time I'm buying this. If price trades into my stop loss again, I will not buy the breakout anymore. I will buy the 100% 30-day ATR level, which right now is around here, 756. So I'll add a stop buy stop order. So when price actually breaks out and surpasses the 30-day ATR level, I'll be a buyer. But I'm not going to buy a breakout out of the rectangle again. 2 times and no more. That is all the that is the maximum amount of tries I'm going to give to a specific trade idea. Now you could say, well, if you're buying the breakout again, it's the 3rd time, but that's not specific enough. I'm saying I'm not buying the daily breakout out of the rectangle again. The reason I'm buying for the 3rd time is a different reason than the first 2 times, which means the trade idea is different to me, which is okay. Then we have pound yen. I am in this trade as well because we get the inverse head and shoulders. We get the inverse head and shoulders over here, right? A shoulder, got a head, got another shoulder. There's overlap between the shoulders, as you can see, right? Which is a prerequisite to a head and shoulder pattern. The neckline can be drawn here. In actual, usually I would have drawn it here, because that way you have interaction with the neckline from both shoulders. The reason I use this level here is because I wanted price not only to break out of the neckline of the head and shoulders, but also clear this little candle here, which was potential resistance. But we clear through it. I bought here, and then I added again on the retest. I added a 3rd time, but I closed that position manually. I added to this position again here because we had structure building up, and we get the last high pre-break, the thrust candle, sorry, through the highs, the last high pre-break. Added to it. I did not get a fill on this chart, as you can see, but my broker uses a different chart. So I did get a fill on this order. But when price traded back below, I closed the position. My stop was here. My stop for all positions is currently still here. But when this started trading back down, I closed the third position only. So I still have 2 positions running. I like the way this is shaping up. I would have preferred a more convincing close here. Didn't get it. If we start trading back below here again, I will most likely close the entire position. The target for the inverse head and shoulder is 196.67. You take the height of the head and shoulder pattern. You place it at the breakout level, and then you get around this area here. So yeah, we'll see if we get this. That would be quite a nice trade. If we do start trading like this, I will re-enter the position and target the swing high, the extreme high. But for now, that is not the case. I am in Microsoft as well because this is a classic example of a head and shoulder. It was a potential head and shoulder top, right? Because it's a very clear one. It's also on the weekly. So this was a beautiful head and shoulders forming. However, this shoulder never got the time to complete. Instead, it breaks up and it breaks through the highest point of the right shoulder, meaning this pattern is invalidated, meaning I'm trading a head and shoulder failure, which is a very, very good pattern to trade. So I am currently long, and yeah, the target is pretty high up, 498. We'll see. I really don't like per se this candle here. It's kind of a rejection candle, and again, markets are pretty frothy. I'm just gonna show you something else. While the S&P 500 did close okay, I mean nothing special, right? It closed pretty good. It's kind of consolidating, not much going on. Even though if this is the actual high, get the lower highs here. However, we didn't close with a lower low compared to this one. If next week we start putting in a lower low, so lower than this one, trade up, put in a lower high again, and start breaking actual market structure, that wouldn't be great, especially if you look at the Russell 2000. Russell 2000 isn't looking great. Lots of selling. Still, market structure looks good. It's still bullish. I mean, we're still putting in higher highs and higher lows, right? I'm not going to pretend otherwise. NASDAQ as well. We do have a rising wedge forming, which could potentially start breaking down, which I'm monitoring very closely. I did try a short last week, which was a profitable trade, but I got stopped out when we started trading up here again. I don't recall the exact trade, but I shorted. Oh, I know. I shorted the retest of this candle here. So I got filled around here and started trading down. I was starting way lower. I think I was starting somewhere around here. Started trading down, started consolidating, started looking pretty bad. And then I got stopped out when prices here. My stop was put above this candle here. So I got stopped out on this candle, which was fine because we started trading up again. But again, I still think the NASDAQ is going to be a short pretty soon. But we'll see. Maybe we'll get a very, very aggressive breakout, which will be very bullish. But for now, we're just waiting and seeing what is going to happen. Dollar Canadian, I am long this market. Man, this market has been beating my ass as well. because that is with trading, right? In hindsight, everything looks so obvious because I've shared this chart like a billion fucking times with you, so you can actually see the way I've planned this, right? When I said this was looking like a very clear ascending triangle, the pattern was forming within this huge rectangle. So this was very, very bullish to me. And I wanted to be long at the breakout of the ascending triangle, which I did. I was. But man, I got stopped out like 14 fucking times already. So I am long again. A different trading idea though, because it's not the breakout of the ascending triangle. I'm not chasing price here. I got long at this candle here. This was a very, very nice daily thrust candle. We got the tariffs with Trump, the whole fiasco. So this market has been getting a lot of attention. I actually wanted to buy a retest of this last high pre-breakout to add to the trade. Didn't get it. Yeah, we'll see what this eventually ends up doing. I got a little wider stop now, just so I can give the trade a little bit more breathing room. And the target is still the major high over here. So we'll have to wait and see. This can take weeks, even months to play out. So it's very, you don't want to you don't want to trill your stop too tight because you risk getting stopped out for absolutely no good reason. So if I put a trade on with the weekly or even the daily and a big chart pattern in mind, with a big chart pattern as the trade idea, I don't trill my stop as tight as I do on shorter term trades. Right, then we have LayerZero. LayerZero. This chart is beautiful because I think, to me, this is a very nice rectangle. Right, you get all the hits here almost. To me, this is a very nice, very well-defined rectangle. And we get this, boom, this big breakout. And I was long, but I got stopped out at this fucking candle right here, which is okay because I did buy back. I bought back with a buy stop above this hammer. So once price started trading up, surpassed the high of the big hammer, I bought. We were consolidating after the order was filled. Started trading up again. Started to look good. Trading down again, but we'll see. This is again a big pattern. Not trailing my stop too tight. Yeah, for now it looks pretty good. Chart pattern target for this would be defined like so. So we get this level right here, 775 would be my first take profit target. I think with a well-defined rectangle like this that is breaking out for the first time, target can and should be higher probably. Yeah, for now that is my first target, but definitely not the last, most likely. All right, we have pretty much the same story, guys. I've covered this chart as well many times. Huge rectangle breakout, and we get the fucking price action from last week. I'm stopped out on fucking every trade because I added 3 or 4 times. So took a loss, not a big loss, by the way. It was a very well defined risk. And this chart is looking very good again because this this hammer is freaking crazy, man. Look at this. Look at this fucking thing. This is ridiculous. Might be the biggest hammer ever produced in financial markets. This thing, how big is this thing? That's what she said, right? Anyway, this thing is 32, almost 32%. So this is a very bullish candle. Yeah, targeting 289, possibly 253 for a first take profit. Obviously, these highs are way up, but we'll see. We'll see. It's always I prefer. I'm the kind of guy that prefers taking profits on the way up. Now, some people will say, "Well, isn't that the most obvious thing to do?" Right? Because everybody takes profits on the way up. That is absolutely not true. There are many traders, good traders, who prefer taking profits on the way down on a long position. Why? Because they want to make sure they squeeze everything out of the up movement. And then after they get the confirmation that the top is in and market starts breaking down, putting in bearish market structure, lower highs and lower lows, they start selling. They start selling into bounces. However, in crypto, I am not a fan, man. What I said last week, staircase up, elevator down, staircase up, elevator down. That is what crypto is. So you're thinking, oh, nice, man, I'm up 10%. Oh, sweet, I'm up 20%. Oh, nice, bro, I'm up 30%. Oh, bro, look at this shit, I'm up 60%. Oh my God, I'm going to come. I'm up 90%. Boom, you're down fucking 120%, right, in 15 minutes. That is crypto, and that sucks. So I don't want that, so I take profits on the way up. I was looking to short, man, look at this chart. Jesus Christ, there's so many levels on here. I wanted to short the Australian dollar because this is a very nice rectangle, a symmetrical triangle. Sorry, I said a rectangle. It is obviously not a rectangle, not in any way, shape, or form. It is a triangle. But I haven't done so yet because I don't think this price action is confirmative enough. I don't think it's a convincing close yet. So I may be too late for this. Maybe this is the actual breakdown of the chart pattern, and I'm going to be too late because we did get price did try to trade back into the pattern and got a big rejection candle here, which does look pretty bearish. But no, I'm just not convinced, and that is part of discretionary trading. Let's have a look at Bitcoin, Ether, and Solana before we wrap up. And holy shit, this is looking pretty good, guys. This is looking pretty good. This may well be the breakout we were waiting for. This is very nice. Maybe that is the maybe that is what this stream does, right? It's not an actual stream, but kind of weird to call it a video or show. What the hell am I doing, man? This is looking really good. I think I'm going to be long Bitcoin. I have a new keyboard as well, so I'm still trying to figure out the freaking buttons. I'm mispressing things like an old man, which I kind of am. I do like the way this is shaping up. I would want to see an hourly close through this current level, which is currently rejecting, which is both the swing high and all-time high, and also ATR. In which case, I will, seeing as this is crypto, I will probably buy the breakout and a retest of these highs, which would be the last high pre-breakout, which is here. And I will have a stop. I will have a stop. Usually I would put my stop below this little thrust or this little thrust. But in this case, I'm going to go with this little thrust. I said little thrust 3 times. The vocabulary of a 4-year-old. I'm going to put my stop below this little thrust because it is also past daily ATR, which is my preference. And then it's okay to have a stop that is a little wider, because if this is going to be a actual Bitcoin breakout, I'm going to be taking profits anywhere between like 125 and 137, something like that, right? So that'll be my my take profit area, like something like this, right? Give or take. So a stop that looks like this may look wide on the hourly, but if you then look at it on the daily and the risk you're taking and what you're standing to gain, so the R on the trade, I mean, it's huge. It's between 7 and 11. So that is perfectly fine. But let's see how this develops. But I'm happy to see Bitcoin is catching a bid now. That looks very good. Let's have a quick look at Ether. Ether also catching a bid. I was waiting to see if this was going to be a potential head and shoulders on the 4-hour. It's not. It's not looking like it will be anymore. Yeah. I'll keep this market in mind as well. I would want to see a breakout from the 4,000 area first, 4,000 level. If this high clears, we're good to go. We're good to go. In the meantime, I'm not going to buy Ether yet. We'll see. We'll see. Solana is one of, also nice. Also starting to look way better. It was one of the less good looking markets. Ideally, I wanted to see a break of this level here, which I have marked, which is which price tried to do over here, got rejected, traded down way lower. Not a huge fan of Solana yet, the way it's looking. If it clears this high, maybe. Could potentially get in a quick long. If I would get in here on the hourly, I'd probably only target this high here though. Not trade it higher yet. I really want to see a break out of these highs here first before jumping into Solana and trading it to new all-time highs. And this is you got to shut your mind off for these thoughts. If you hear me speak and you hear me say, I want to wait for prices to go higher before I buy, please do not think, what the fuck is this idiot doing? You always want to be a buyer at the lowest possible prices, right? And I know that sounds so intuitive. I mean, it sounds so reasonable, but it's not the reality of trading, because cheap isn't the same as good. I know it sounds that way because you love certain coins, but that just means you're emotionally involved with your investments, which you shouldn't be. I'm just trading price. Again, I don't care if Solana is 200 or 2,000 or $2. That doesn't matter to me. I'm just trading price from point A to point B. And if I'm going to be long this market, the chances of prices going up drastically increase once price breaks through these highs here. I could, of course, trade price in between, which is fine, because you could potentially say this is becoming a range. Like some people on Twitter will call everything a deviation. This will be a deviation, right? Price trades back into the range, retests the lower end of the range, closes down below, is now back into the range. You could potentially trade this range-bound environment. You could, and that is perfectly fine. That's just not what I do. That is not what I do. Now, I will be a buyer at lower prices than we currently trade at. That is not the point. But I'm not just buying stuff because it's low. I will buy stuff because a level is to be found at a certain lower point. But yeah, that is something else completely. Yeah, I think we're gonna leave it at this for now, guys. We're gonna leave it at this for now. All in all, prices, markets are looking okay. There's no good reason to be very bearish yet. But just keep in mind what I said. Keep in mind that if you have a bull market, a healthy, a solid bull market that is going to last a long time, you don't want to necessarily pay a lot of attention to the type of news that is coming up, the way that news is swallowed up by the market, what the market does with the news it gets. And good news, positive news should really, really be able to increase prices during bull markets, especially if the news is freaking incredible. If it doesn't, if the market's like, I don't know. I'm cautious. I'm still very cautious. So yeah, please like this video if you haven't done so already. Please subscribe if you're not a subscriber yet. I really, really appreciate every subscription. I really appreciate your comments, your likes. It means a lot to me. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, please drop them below this video. Always able to have a chat, Instagram, Twitter, you name it. Have a good week, guys. Happy trading, and I'll see you again here next week.